Hello everyone, my name is Alicia Jade and welcome back to the Get Me Off podcast.
In and out.
Exactly.
Smash it out.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much. Best guest.
I know, exactly. This is like the biggest honour as well. I love it. And thank you for agreeing to come on.
Oh my God, thank you for inviting me. This is so exciting for me because I'm normally the...
Interviewer.
Yeah, never the interviewee.
Yeah. What is it people say? They're like, I'm normally the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Yeah, that's me today. So I'm excited. Thank you so much.
Oh, I like it. Well, welcome to the Get Me Off podcast. I'm excited to hear a bit about your journey. We've definitely got some harder hitting subjects in there as well that we want to cover. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, this is going to be really exciting.
Get into it.
Who are you and what do you do?
Okay, we'll start there. So I'm Beccie. If that isn't, you didn't introduce me by name anyway, did you?
No, I didn't.
That's
I don't
fine.
think so.
That's fine.
Hello, everyone. This is Becky.
In case I'm like, they already know that. So I'm Beccie. I am predominantly a online coach. That's really what I'd say my, like, where I'm at the moment, my biggest, like, what's the word? Job role.
Yes.
Job is an online coach.
Well, this is the thing when you have your own business. It's how many job titles can you fit in one sentence?
This is it. So I'm predominantly an online coach. Then I have my own studio, my own pole and aerial acrobatic studio.
Which is stunning.
Thank you so much. A lot of TLC went into that.
It's so nice.
And then I do social media work, both like the sort of influencing ambassador side of social media and also managing social media for clients too. So a bit similar to what you do.
Yes.
In that sense.
Yes.
So yeah, I do a lot.
Amazing.
Do a lot.
And how do you find like the work-life balance between everything? Because that's such a big thing. There's always pictures that go around on Instagram where it's like, I quit my 9 to 5 and now I work 24/7.
Yes, that's so true though. Mm-hmm. That is so true. It doesn't stop. But when you do it for yourself, I don't care. Like if I'm working at 10, 11 o'clock at night, which I do, I don't see it as work.
Yeah.
I really, really don't. And it's like, I just absolutely love it. So you do work a lot more, but I think having that balance. So when I opened Dynamic, when I moved into the new studio that I've got now, I knew I wasn't going to be able to do that alone. And being able to identify actually what means the most to me, what I'm most passionate about. So for me right now, that's online coaching. Like I love that. But it is difficult. Like I don't think I would be able to do all of it and run classes every single night like I was doing when I first launched Dynamic. So when Dynamic grew, I've now got a team of 4 instructors. So they each have like their own night of the week. So actually I only teach at Dynamic maybe twice a week.
Okay.
So Dynamic actually like essentially doesn't run itself, but you know, I've got a team that's...
Well, it kind of does,
yeah.
because you don't need to be there all the time.
Don't need to be there. And then throughout the day is online coaching, social media work, and then it's just real diary management on that. So like Monday, Tuesday, the front end of my week is super stacked.
Yes.
And then the back end of the week is when I can get in like project work and, you know,
and
stuff
podcasts.
And podcasts, yeah, and stuff that I'm working on. So like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, that end of the week is a lot more chill, where Monday, Tuesday is like absolutely fixated on clients.
I need to be more organized in that way in terms of having specific days where I do specific things.
Yeah.
Because for me, it's at the moment, it's just kind of, can I do this on this day? Yes. Do I do it on that day? I don't know. We'll see. And I don't like those bitty days where you've got to drive to one place, then another place, then you go home for an hour, then you're back out. And I don't like that because it makes me feel really disorganized.
Yeah, I'm the same with like PTs during the day. So if I do like private lessons, I've got to drive to the studio and then come back again. And that's an hour PT, driving to the studio, driving back. And that's like nearly 2 hours out of my day. So again, prioritizing like where my time needs to be. But my husband he's like my biggest support anyway, but he was amazing with that. He said to me, so when I actually properly went self-employed in April.
Oh my God, only of this year?
Only of this year, yeah.
Wow.
So I've only been self-employed properly for what?
I didn't know that.
What is that, like 6-7 months?
Yeah, it's not long.
Quick.
Like 8 months. 8 months maybe.
I've been pregnant for 9. So I should know that too. 8 months. And he said to me, like, you need to live and die by your diary.
Yeah.
Your diary is everything, like, by the bloody hour.
Yeah.
And so that's what I've done. And, like, it's really precious. It really, really does help having that all mapped out for your week.
I have my to-do list on my calendar. And I don't know if that's like, people always tell me that I'm really organized, but if something's not right in front of me, then it's not like in the right place. I can't find it fast enough. And to me, like every minute is valuable.
Oh my God, yeah.
So being able to organize everything and know exactly where something is and find it when I need it, instead of spending half an hour trying to find something, would just frustrate me. Yeah. So I literally put my to-do list in my calendar of how long I think like each item is going to take, instead of blocking out X amount of time and writing a to-do list, because then I feel like I would never get through it. I do sometimes, but
it's got to work for you. And like I tried loads of different methods. So Rob, my husband, he is really, really big on Outlook, loves Outlook. That's what he uses. I've tried, it doesn't work for me. So it took me a little while as well to try and find what works. So for me, I use Google Calendar. I love anything that's colours. The way it's presented to me is way more important than the information within. Like that goes for anything. Like if I do a project or if I'm putting out like a plan or something, the
layout is first.
The aesthetic is always first. Colour schemes, layout, then I can work.
Same.
So the way it looks is so important to me. So Google Calendar, and this was actually one of the reviews when I was looking at different calendars. It was like, the way it's laid out is so pretty, blah blah blah. So you can color code everything, it links in with I just love it. So yeah, I did properly go by color, hour, and block out that time, and it has been really, it's a game changer. You have to do that.
When you have so much to do as well, not having to think about what you have to do is the benefit. So that's what I find. Like if I have so many things to do, I will write them down, and then it feels like like, you know, I don't know how many times you've seen Harry Potter, but you know when Dumbledore uses the wand and like pulls the thought out of his brain and puts it in the bowl?
Yeah.
That's me pulling something from my to-do list out of my brain and putting it in my diary. So then
that works though.
Yeah, then I don't have to think about it anymore, and I'm like, okay, cool, that's there.
Yeah. So like being really strategic with that is a must.
Yeah, definitely.
Otherwise you're just all over the place.
Absolutely. And I guess that brings us on to the deeper question, the deeper topic that we were going to talk about. I was going to say obviously, but you can't necessarily tell right now, but you are pregnant. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Like literally when I messaged you to do the podcast, you were like, yeah, providing I haven't popped by then.
Well, it's really funny because I've started having cramps this week.
Oh God.
Yeah, I know. So, and I messaged my midwife, and I don't know what it is. It could be Braxton Hicks, early labour, but I'm good. I'm all good.
First guest on the podcast, and then potential first birth on the podcast.
Could you imagine if my waters broke now? I'd be so embarrassed.
Oh my God, I'd be terrified. I'd be like, what do I do?
This gorgeous sofa is now ruined. So yeah, I don't really know what's going to happen, but I feel so good. I did a workout last night. Like the endorphins eliminates the cramping.
You've literally been training your entire way through you haven't stopped at all, which I admire so much. And I know it depends so much on the person, but I admire you so much for just being like, no, do you know what? I'm not going to succumb to this. I'm not going to let this change my routine or anything. I'm just going to continue going.
Oh, thank you so much. But it was when I fell pregnant, the biggest thing I wanted to do is inspire people to keep going. And I really hope that I've done that. I mean, I have been lucky, I know, but like I've had no sickness, no fatigue. And I can't help but think that's my lifestyle and the training. Yeah. I know that it's all dependent on individuals, but yeah, there's nothing that's changed in my routine whatsoever. If anything, it's made me feel so strong. Like I don't have any aches or pains, because I feel like it's like strength training anyway in day-to-day life. But when you're pregnant, your body needs to adapt to the load because you get heavier and heavier. Like I'm like so much heavier.
Well, you have another person.
This is it. There is a baby in there, but like you gain a lot of weight. Yeah. Whether or not that's all baby or not, you gain, and it's all at the front. So you know, people were saying to me, you're going to really feel off balance, and being on the pole is going to be really hard because your center of gravity is going to be off. And I haven't found that at all.
Yeah, I feel like your body figures out a way to counterbalance that.
The body adapts, and it's like it's learning to deal with that. Like it's like progressive overload. As you get heavier, your body trains accordingly and then can deal with the weight. So it's been amazing. Like I feel so good. I haven't once napped. I know that sounds really silly.
Stop it. I nap all the time and I'm not even pregnant.
But like the pregnancy apps will say to you like, take a nap. You deserve it. You know, if you need to nap, you nap. And a lot of pregnant people do. And I do understand why. Well, this is the thing. It hasn't been tiring for me. It's like I felt so good. I also think that's diet as well, but I won't get into that because that is really nitty-gritty. But
I'm immediately signing up for your online coaching because like my life is not this well put together. It's like help me.
Yeah.
I've looked so much into diet and stuff like that recently, and I feel like every woman especially, and to be fair, when I posted about saying that being an adult female is constantly trying to figure out what's wrong with you, I actually had a couple of men respond on Instagram and say, and men. So I feel like a lot of people do have issues. It's just like not necessarily as well spoken about. When it comes to nutrition and things like that, like, there's so much that people don't know, and there's so much 100%. That I'm learning now that I'm like, oh my God, I never knew this when I was younger. And this is like something I'm very open about talking about. Like, I was diagnosed with an eating disorder like last year. And it was like a completely fly under the radar kind of eating disorder. And I genuinely never realized. And it's literally just because there's hardly any education, or there was hardly any education about nutrition and what your body actually needs and that kind of stuff. And if it was out there, it wasn't making its way to me and all the people I knew.
No, it's really difficult. Like I've posted as well. I had major body dysmorphia. Still do. That doesn't go away. It's the way you handle it and the support you have around you. I was tiny when I first started pole. I've posted those pictures too. Like they're really unsettling to look at. They're really, it's not unsettling. It just makes me really sad. And I deal with because predominantly I deal with female polers. I can't tell you the amount of people I work with that have challenges with eating, but nutrition is huge. So for the past year and a half, I've predominantly been carnivore, and that's worked incredibly well for me.
Wait, so what does that mean? Like, you just eat meat?
And fruit. So there is different variations of it, but I just eat meat.
Is this what Michaela Peterson did?
I'm not sure.
Is she the blonde one?
Is she Jordan Peterson? Yes,
his daughter.
Yes, because he just eats meat as well. He just eats beef.
But she was diagnosed with something or other, and then she did the carnivore diet. Okay, I might need to try this.
So I was off the pill for 4 years and had to be honest, like, again, separate conversation, but I never thought that I'd really be able to have children. It wasn't like a burning desire of mine, but like in COVID, I was super broody, which is so unlike me, but so unlike me.
And this
honestly.
is how we ended up here.
But that was 4 years ago, 4 years ago.
Yeah, it was.
And anyway, so I had a major hormone imbalance, come off the pill, my skin was horrendous.
Okay, well, this is me right now. So what did you do?
Carnivore balanced out my hormones.
No way.
Like, it was the best thing that, like, this is the thing, it can be really, really difficult just eating meat.
Yeah.
But it makes me feel so good.
Well, I tried to do the whole vegetarian thing, and I thought, like, I swapped out a load of meat and chicken and things like that, and I switched over to vegetarian alternatives. But I genuinely felt like my body was just empty all the time. And there's so many, like, apologies if you're vegan or vegetarian, however, there's so many vitamins and benefits and stuff that come in more of a pure form from food than it does from like a vitamin tablet that you can take. And I just feel like I just started craving like sausages all the time. And I don't even really like sausages that much.
Well, this is the thing. So when you're carnivore, you need to get a lot of vitamins from like organs. So I was eating liver. That was tough. But like, again, it made me feel like a piece of liver is like the single most nutritious, dense thing that you could possibly eat on this planet. Like, it is full of everything.
That's wild. Probably not my liver, but it's
but,
just full of wine.
It's like in like the way animals eat and stuff, they'll always, like, in a lion's pack, for example, they'll always leave like the liver and the organs for the leader of the pack, essentially. Like, it is
like gold dust.
It really, really is. And like, it was one thing that I had to stop eating. So I saw a woman talking about that she continued to eat liver during her pregnancy, and she felt amazing. And I'm a little bit gutted that I stopped.
But also skeptical at the same time.
This is it. But my blood work throughout. So I always said to Rob that if my blood work come back in any way flagged, because you get your bloods done a lot during pregnancy, then I will come off carnivore. Like, whatever I need to do for my body. My midwife was like, I haven't seen bloods on a pregnant person this good in a very long time.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and like Rob gets his bloods done privately too, to make sure that your levels are like optimal and stuff like that. And his bloods come back like superb.
I'm gonna go home and research this diet because I want to do it. I have quite a few friends that are like full-time athletes, and as in like top league athletes in like many different things, and they all take the mick out of me because my body, like every single thing just clicks constantly. And they're like, this is not normal. Like, you know, that shouldn't happen. And I'm like, yeah, but it's always been like this. And I don't, I'm at the point now where I don't know if it's like years of damage because of obviously not eating properly for like 10 to 12 years.
Yeah.
And now I'm trying to like claw back anything I can. But I don't know.
Definitely worth doing your research on it. Again, this is why I don't push it too much on social media because it is a personal, you know, you can't just eat meat. It has to be right. Like, I'm literally going to the butcher's after this to go pick up 6 kilos of mince. It will be a 70-30 split of fat because because basically when you transition over to carnivore, because Joe Rogan's predominantly carnivore too. So when you transition over to carnivore, your body has to learn. It does go through like a keto state basically because you're reducing the carbs. But you have to keep your fat levels really high so that your body will start to use fat as an energy source over and above carbs. So I still eat carbs, but my carbs come from bananas, apples, all fruits, basically, stuff like that. So you eliminate seed oils, you eliminate everything. My physique was absolute at its peak. Like when I look back at my physique, like especially back in February, just before I fell pregnant, like I think maybe because I am pregnant and sensitive, maybe I look back and I'm like, oh my God, I look so good.
Aww.
But seriously,
look back at yourself and say that.
Yeah, but my physique was like at its peak.
Yeah.
And like even looking at Rob, like Rob is 35 and I've never ever, I've been with him for 10 years and I've never seen him in this shape that he's in now. He's in the best physical shape I've ever seen him in. And he's the same, like it just makes you feel so good. Yeah. That like, I feel like having a baby and being really, really tired, like a bowl of mince is going to be the last thing that I'm going to want to eat. But again, it makes me feel so good that it's really hard to deviate.
Well, this is the thing, like now, because we weren't even going to talk about food, but like now there's so many things like they say you should eat something pickled every single day for like gut health and stuff like this. But I eat yogurt every day, like Greek yogurt. And I said it to someone yesterday and I was like, yeah, I eat like, I don't know, like half a big tub of yogurt a day. And she was like, how can you eat that much yogurt? And I'm like, I literally crave it. Like I literally look forward to it.
So this is a really big thing and something that I speak to clients about as well. It's all about like carnivore works for me really well. It might not work for you. I'll eat 60 grams of protein in one sitting. Yeah. Where like if you ate that, your body might go to shit. Yeah. Am I allowed to swear?
Yes.
But that's because my body can digest it and it can handle it well. And it works for me. Like what works for one person isn't going to work for somebody else. So it's all about how you digest your food, you know, how your body reacts. It's so important to be in tune with that. Yeah. It's a bit like, you know, people that have like IBS and...
Yes, it's like trial and error.
Absolutely, because actually that's a really good point just before we do move on. Rob had IBS and Carnivore eliminated that, so he doesn't get it anymore.
That's madness.
Yeah, and that's why is her name Michaela Peterson? That's why that's one of the biggest reasons why people actually go to Carnivore. It's a anti-inflammatory.
Oh, see, because I make anti-inflammatory shots, like the wellness shots. I make those out of like I think it's like beetroot, carrot, apple, something, and I make those. But yeah, I mean, you never know. I've also switched to filtered water now, and I've bought an air purifier. Yeah, because I have a cat. And I don't know, and my skin's bad, so I'm literally trying anything.
Oh my God, when mine was bad, I tried everything. Yeah. Everything. But basically, in a nutshell, you're just going back to the way that our ancestors ate. You know, they would go out, they would hunt. They would hunt an animal. They would eat all of it, including the organs. Yeah. Then they would go seek out fruit for something sweet. And that's what they ate, you know.
And that was it.
That was it.
So... touching on our ancestors.
Ooh, where's this going?
No, I can. Well, so I want to talk about the impact that, so like I said to you earlier, I saw that thing on Instagram where it said like the average amount of money that a woman loses when she gets pregnant because of taking the time off work, because of having to look after or like pay for childcare or whatever. And then it was like men, zero money lost because obviously they don't do any of that. How, with such a busy lifestyle and everything going on, how are you going to deal with is the wrong way to say it, but how are you going to factor that into your schedule and into your life that you have someone else to look after, like you're a mum now? Yeah.
The fact of being a mum hasn't actually quite hit home. Yeah. So that, I think that will be the biggest shock for me when I actually give birth and be like, oh, no, like I've actually got this like person. But this is the beauty of being online too. Yeah. Like I'm such a determined person. Like I know it's going to be hard work. I'm not naive to that at all. Yeah. I know I'm going to be tired, but I can still find an hour, 2-3 hours a day to be able to service my online clients. I have to. There's no choice.
There's no choice.
Yeah. And it's not that I'm being selfish and being like not wanting to spend time with with my baby. It's just that is like, I'm so driven in that field that like, it's a bit like, I have quite a lot of people say to me, you must get the same, like, how do you upload so much social media content? How do you post so consistently?
Yes.
Like, honestly, I have friends that say to me, like, how do you do it? Like, sometimes I see you posting 2-3 times a day on every platform, on stories, but that's because it's my life.
Yeah.
And not in like a crazy, like, this is my job. It's like, I just love to do it. I make it part of my day.
Exactly. And it's also the things that you take in as well. So I take in so many magazines, TV shows, music, literally everything I take in is inspiration for me. So then I see something and I immediately take a picture or a video of it. And whereas most other people just completely walk past it and ignore it. So it's about, like you say, it's just completely absorbing everything. Yeah. And everything is then becomes part of your passion at the same time.
I love it. So I think even there is, even like, no matter how busy my day is, I will always post on social media like on, even if that's a grid post or a reel, whatever, there will be a post on social media every day. So I reckon I'll be able to make time for it. And also just having the best support around me, like having Rob. Like, Rob is my number one. He is incredibly supportive with like my businesses and wanting to grow. Like, right now I'm at capacity and I can't do any more projects. I can't grow. So, you know, is like, I consume a lot of Gary Vee. Do you listen to Gary Vee?
No, I don't. His voice kind of annoys me.
No, you need to. He's so good. He's
Sorry,
like,
Gary.
If you're seeing this, Gary, I love you. He is everything. Like, his guidance and like what he says is, I mean, it's the reason why Stephen Bartlett's in the position that he is in. He's spoken about that a lot. Like, he literally followed Gary's blueprint. Yeah. His advice is incredible, and he's saying like, I was listening to one of his his keynote speeches the other day, and he was like, raise your hand if you are at capacity right now. And I was sat at my desk. Honestly, Rob's next to me, and I was like, me, I am. And he's like, well, you need to leave the room right now. You need to hire somebody.
Wow.
And you need to, and like, Rob's next to me, and we're like, this is just such a, you know, when you hear something that's so relevant to you right now, like, I can't grow anymore. Yeah. And the only way I can grow and do all the things I want to do and all the projects I want to do is have some help. So it makes sense right now to bring in Rob. Like, Rob's incredible at like scaling businesses, marketing, that type of shiz, and wants to do his own thing, but to
and
go
it's nice
work
to support
together.
Each other. Yeah,
Absolutely. So like, that's the right thing to do for our family right now. And it was so relevant listening to it and being like, you know what, like, we can work together and we can grow and do this. And like, Rob has loads of experience in being like a PT, and again, like the marketing, like all my ambassador deals that I do, or with any like
brands, anything,
Rob comes with me as my like partnership manager, and we'll negotiate. That I'm not very good at.
I love that.
I'm not very
God,
good
can you be mine as well?
I'm not very good at negotiating.
You're like, yeah, I'll just do it. Don't worry, it's fine.
Yeah, and I'll be like, I'll do it for free. Rob's like, bitch, no. You have your time. It's precious, stuff like that.
Yes.
So Rob is very, very influential in everything that I do anyway, and is like, pushes me to be better. So to work together, like, I couldn't think of anyone better to work with. And again,
and it's so nice to see your partner like do well be like in it together and like pushing them and stuff like that. Like, I feel like that's such an important thing.
Yeah, and he has his own thing going on, and like we've got plans there too, but given our situation and the circumstances right now, like, it makes sense to do that. And so that's how I'm going to manage it. We're gonna
so exciting,
bring him on board, but I couldn't think of anyone else better to do it with. And like, going back to Gary Vee, he said like, one of the best things you can do is hire friends and family.
Oh, wow. See, that's interesting, because obviously, like, most people would say that it's really difficult to work with friends and family, but like, I do a lot of work with my best friend, and like, me and my mum have worked together in so many businesses and so many different things, and I always feel like it works well that way. As long as you can quite clearly separate work and friendship or family, then I feel like it really works, because the reason that you're such good friends or very close family is because you think similar and you enjoy the same things.
100%. And like, every decision I make, any partnership that I enter, anything that I do, I will always consult Rob anyway. It's like just a go-to for advice as well. So to work with each other, but also no one will care for your business more than your friends or family.
Oh my God, that's so true.
like, no one is going to care more about what's going on and the income that's coming in and how we can grow and
than someone close
strategy
to you.
than Rob. And it's like, it's a team,
Yeah.
you know? So, and also like, so I've got dynamic. So that is a big thing for me. Like, I need to get back to teaching at some point, like no pressure, but I will get back to teaching and being in the studio. And Rob does jiu-jitsu. That's his escape. So like, as long as we have our downtimes, I think if you're like in it together and you don't have an outlay, I feel like that would be tough. But he will go and do his thing. I will go and do my thing. We come back together. We make it work.
I love that.
So like, that is, as long as you keep that at the...
like that kind of ratio.
Yeah. And balance. So yeah, that is how, I know I've gone way off here, but that is how I'm going to balance it. And like, I know I'm really lucky to have that support, but why, like, now is just the best time to do it. Baby or no baby. Even if I didn't have a baby, like,
that would be the natural
like
progression.
right now, like, again, because I'm like speaking to clients and I'm still like, people are still working with me and no one says to me like, oh, are you having any time off for your baby? Like, no one cares. No one, not in a bad way, but like, no one's saying to me,
or they
like,
know that you're going to work through it.
Yeah, like, no one's saying to me like, oh, I'd love to work with you, let's start on Monday, but like, are you going to take some time off for the baby or whatever? Like, people are just like, yep, let's get going, I want to work with you. So like, my clients are growing, like, nothing has slowed down.
Wow.
So again, now more than ever, like, I am at absolute capacity, so I need some help, and it's the best way to move forward.
Yeah, definitely.
But to go back to your question, if I didn't have that, I'd probably be fucked. Like, I don't, do you know what I mean? Like, what would you do?
I don't know.
What would you do? You would have to make it work. And again, I would make it work, but
you would, you always do.
It is true. Like, the women do have to take a hit.
Yeah, massively. So what's next for you?
So 2024 is a really, really, really big year. Like, I'm really excited. I've got multiple projects on the go. One with Charlotte, who you're going to bring on the pod, who's the owner of Aura. I want to do some work with a pre and postnatal, not pre and postnatal, like a postnatal, getting back into pole. Yeah. And helping people recover and getting back on their journey. So we have a project there, which is really exciting. Loads of exciting things happening with Aura. Yeah. Anyway, which we both work with the brand, which I absolutely love.
I love it.
I've got like a couple of things brewing with like projects with my physio and creating plans again for polars, for recovery, and basically a lot of collaborations happening, a lot of project collaborations.
I feel like that's the way forward as well in business though.
100%. And also then with Rob coming on board, he's got so much stuff in the pipeline and taking a different angle, because again, he's going to be such an amazing coach himself, but he wants to go and work more in like corporations and helping people improve their performance, like high performing people improve their performances, improve team performances. And I think working together as a male and female coach in a different field and going into corporations and helping people.
Such a different perspective, isn't it?
Totally different. And then like, so Rob will have his own part of his business, but to be able to offer a male and female coach. Yeah. Like, you know, there's a lot happening. Oh, and I've got to raise a baby. So that's...
Oh, and that. Let's not forget about the actual baby part.
The baby.
Oh my God, it's exciting
so that'll be, I mean, that's probably going to be the biggest part of next year, but loads of collaborations happening. More deals, like not more deals as in like more partnerships,
more deals, making money.
More partnerships, continuing the partnerships too. Like we both have similar partnerships with similar brands, same brands.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, continuing those partnerships and
amazing.
That's 2024.
Oh, it's exciting. I feel like you're excited about the new year and all these new things.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
The baby will fit into my life.
Yes, like rather than your life having to fit around the baby.
I'm putting a baby bouncer in the studio.
Yeah.
Like, me and Rob will still go to the gym. Like, he'll take... We've seen, like, at Phoenix where Rob does BJJ. Like, they, you know...
There's babies, absolutely.
So Rob will just take the baby to BJJ, take it to the gym. I'll take it to the studio, baby bouncer life. Oh. He's going to come out and be land sick anyway. He'll be like, I need to spin. So
get me on a pole.
Yeah, it's just going to become part of our life like that, you know, and having that balance to be able to do all these amazing things.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me and having this chat. I learnt so much.
Gonna go research carnivore?
Absolutely. I'm gonna go and eat a steak right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the butcher's. I don't know where a butcher's is, but I'm gonna go find a butcher's and I'm gonna eat everything.
I am gonna get a steak actually at the butcher's. Good shout.
I do like steak. I only tend to have it when I'm out, but I need to learn to cook it at home so I can make it for myself.
See, again, we have to have ribeye because it has to be like the fattiest cut.
Oh, I do like a good Wagyu steak though, but I'm not that rich. I'm not. Literally, I had it the other day when I went to a restaurant, like a restaurant opening thing. I sent a picture to my friend and he was like, you are literally going to turn into a Wagyu steak.
I love it.
I will be happy with that.
Thank you so much for having me, babe. I super appreciate it.
Amazing. And good luck with everything. And thank you everyone for listening and watching. Subscribe for future guests. And we never know, we might get you back on to talk about more nutritional stuff.
Yeah, I'll be here with child.
Oh my God, that would be so cute.
Who have little biceps from all the protein that he's consumed.
Thank you everyone for listening and watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye. Bye.